you get so big getting hold of this kind?
Alright, so I'm feeling the need to do kind of another rant video. I'm going a little bit off script again this time, so I'm sorry about that. But I want to talk about something that's been kind of all over the social medias lately, especially with the recent release of Infinity War. Let's talk about fandom competitions. I'm not here to tell you that Marvel sucks because it beat Star Wars. I'm not here to tell you that Marvel did anything better than Star Wars because it beat its records. But I am also not here to tell you that fandom competitions are bad. I'm here to just talk to you about fandom competitions. We geeks like to pretend that our expressions of passion are somehow more intellectual than others. You know, you have to read books, you have to analyze movies, you have to do thinking in order to like ours. Unlike another thing that people get very passionate about, sports. Yes, sports are for those uncool jocks that are super mean and stuff, according to 90s television shows. Never mind that there are a lot of geeks who are jocks, and a lot of jocks who are geeks. No, of course, we cannot mix our peas with our carrots. But at the end of the day, fandom competition is that. It's sports. I'm sorry to tell you, this is my sports team. Marvel is my other sports team. That's how it works, basically, and a lot of us don't want to admit it. Box office numbers are kind of like our Super Bowl. There are World Cup. There are Olympics. It's a thing we've done more and more. Who's breaking what box office record for what reason? If this movie that is about this subject matter can do really well, then that means Hollywood is ready for it. That type of thing that we all get really, really into. It's not wrong, but it's not right. It's all about how important are you making it. If my sports team loses, I'm gonna be real mad about it. And then I'm gonna go to bed and wake up the next day and live the rest of my life. It's okay to be mad about it. It's not okay to let it impact your life. If your sports team wins, that's great. That's okay. It's okay to be excited about it. It's okay to celebrate. It's okay to feel that joy. But there's more important things in life than that, and it's important to keep that in perspective. So Star Wars is my sports team. My sports team lost the box office. Infinity War just destroyed the box office with a snap of its finger. And don't worry, I'm not going to get into huge Infinity War spoilers. The movie's still kind of new and it doesn't really matter. But I've already kind of seen this debate. See, there's still this giant divide in the Star Wars fandom about The Last Jedi. I don't get why, but there is. And it's being brought up again because Infinity War came out and there's really no fandom divide. I haven't seen anyone going, dang it, the Russo brothers ruined my childhood. The idea is, did Infinity War do it better? Well, do what better? See, here's the thing. If you want to get into a sports rivalry, let's talk about it in a context that makes sense. The Last Jedi wasn't in the Super Bowl, it was in the World Series. Infinity War is the crowning jewel on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, there's still Avengers 4, and yes, that will also be the crowning jewel, but we're talking about movie 19. Movie 19 in 10 years. Star Wars is on, what are we on now? If we count Solo, we're on 10 films. 10 films! Over decades, instead of 19 films in one decade. In context, that's like talking about the emotional payoff of Starfighters of Amador to the unifying force, right? There's just a different number of books. There's a different amount of context that has been put out there. Last Jedi isn't the end. This is what I've kind of been telling people. I can't tell you where I rank The Last Jedi. I can tell you I like The Last Jedi, but I haven't seen episode 9 yet. I don't know if episode 8 achieves its goals because I don't know what its goals are. I refuse to have this conversation until I've seen the whole trilogy. Maybe I will see episode 9 and I will see what so many other people are saying, and I will see the vast amounts of disorganization and how the series has like redone itself 8 times in 2 movies. Maybe I will, but I'm not going to talk about it until I've seen episode 9. Infinity War is something completely different. Infinity War is episode 9. So if we're gonna have this conversation, let's have it. But let's talk about The Last Jedi in the context of Age of Ultron or Civil War, because it's a little bit closer to that than it is Infinity. But then I kind of gotta ask you, do you really think there's a rivalry between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Star Wars? Because if you do, I have news to break to you, and it's very simple. Disney owns them both. There's this myth floating around on the internet, and it's probably one of the stupidest myths ever. And I don't say that about things. I don't like to say things are stupid. We like to keep an uplifting kind of vibe around here, so I don't like using words like stupid. This is stupid. People think Disney doesn't believe in Solo and that they already think the film is gonna fail. Wanna know why it's stupid? Disney moved the release date for Infinity War. Do you really think they moved the release date for Infinity War because of Robert Downey Jr.'s birthday? Because I don't. Infinity War was gonna come out on May 5th, which means it was really gonna come out on May 4th, which means it was really gonna come out on Star Wars Day, the day the Solo tickets went on sale. So did they move Infinity War because they wanted to, or did they move Infinity War because they knew that movie was gonna do ridiculously well and they wanted to put another week between Infinity War and Solo? If Disney didn't believe in Solo, they would have kept the release date for Infinity War the same so that when Solo didn't do well, they could blame it on Infinity War. But no, they put another week in there so that Solo could have Star Wars Day. Think about it for a second. Yeah, maybe they're different teams, but they're owned by the same general manager. They're not in a competition. Star Wars has age to it. And yes, I get it, Marvel has been around forever in comic book form, but I'm talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And you can think that your trade paperbacks or your original run issues really mean something about how old the characters are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The age of your Iron Man comic means about as much as the age as my copy of Shadows of the Empire. It means squats. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is 10 years old. They've made 19 films in 10 years. What Star Wars has on its side is it has generations of Star Wars fans. Yes, there are generations of Marvel fans, but there's one set of Marvel Cinematic Universe fans, and that's the people who started watching it in 2008, no matter what their age. There's nothing out there that can rival Star Wars in terms of that, except for Star Trek, but Star Trek still doesn't even count because Star Trek was a TV show first, and not a film series first. Star Wars will always, 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 always be special because there is no other Titan film series that started as a film series. Every other Titan film series started as something else. James Bond was novels, Lord of the Rings was novels, Harry Potter was novels, Star Trek was a TV show, Marvel started as comics, DC started as comics. Star Wars will always be special, and there's nothing we need to be self-conscious about. And if there's a bad Star Wars movie, well, darn it, there was a bad Star Wars movie. Oh, that brings me to another point. This is the only thing I will say about TLJ haters. If you don't like TLJ, that's fine. I really don't care. You don't have to like it. I like it. You not liking it doesn't mean I like it less or like it more or whatever. You like it, that's fine. Do not pretend to me that The Last Jedi is the first bad Star Wars movie. If you come to me and start saying like TLJ is the thing that ruined Star Wars, I'm gonna go and look at my Jar Jar Binks action figure and kind of laugh at you. That is the one point I will just outright reject from you, is that Star Wars is somehow this previously pristine franchise that has never made a mistake in its life, and Ruin Johnson was the first person to do it, because that's bull and you know it. That one just really bothers me. And it bothers me because I've been a prequel apologist since there were prequels, and to now come over and pretend like you thought the prequels were good because you're just mad because Poe and Holdo had an argument, I don't want to hear it. That said, you can totally not like the Poe and Holdo plotline. That's fine. I'm not talking to you if you didn't like Jar Jar Binks and you don't like Poe and Holdo. So then let's get into talking about sports teams. I'm not telling you that sports teams are bad, and I'm not telling you to ignore box office numbers. In the great rivalry that is Marvel versus DC, at least in terms of the cinematic universe, I will fully admit that the only Marvel comics I've read are my Star Wars ones, and I've never read a DC comic. That's not because they're bad, it's not because I have no interest, it's because I already have all of this, and I just don't have the brain capacity to get into another thing. But in terms of Marvel movies, there's a little part of me that gets a little bit excited when Thor 3 does better than Justice League. And I don't want to make anybody who liked Justice League feel bad. I mean, Professor Django on this channel is a bigger DC fan than I am of Marvel, and he's read the DC comics, and I don't like to say things that would make him feel bad for a thing that he loves. It's just my sports team. That's all. And I'm gonna trade barbs from one sports fan to another about our sports team, and then I don't care. He can like any movie he likes, you can like any movie you like. It's a sports team thing. I don't think that's bad. I don't think sports rivalries are bad. I don't think franchise rivalries are bad. I think rivalries call different people to want to be better versions, right? If there's a Marvel and DC rivalry, if there's a Star Wars, Star Trek rivalry, and it's healthy, then it's just causing us to want to be better. In theory, if Star Wars and Star Trek have a rivalry, then it just means we're gonna get the best Star Wars and the best Star Trek movies possible, and then everyone wins. No one is a loser when everyone is trying to make their best stuff. There's that, but then to get upset or to throw things... I mean, let's be honest, we're gonna do some real talk. Infinity War is gonna make a frick ton, like an actual measurable frick ton more money than Solo will. End of story. It doesn't mean Marvel is better than Star Wars, it means one is Infinity War and one is a spin-off movie. And if somebody whose first love is the Marvel Cinematic Universe comes up to me and is like, haha, Infinity War made more than Solo, I'm be like, yeah, it doesn't matter, but that's fine, because that's sports. That's sports. And then I'm gonna go to bed and wake up the next day and go, you know what, Infinity War was great, so what the frick do I care? I still won because I got good movies. Okay, so this was like, this is big and long and ranty, and it probably accomplishes nothing, but this is really, the thing at the end that almost no one will get to, because that implies you watched the whole rant, is this. Like, have your sports team, but know that it's a sports team, admit that it's a sports team, and just deal with it like it's a sports team, and just don't worry about it so much. You don't need someone else to like the thing you like or not like the thing you don't like. A movie isn't better or worse because a different movie did better, or a different movie got better or worse reviews. Friendly competition should just be that. Friendly. But the moment it is not friendly, the moment you are not enjoying it, the moment you're getting stressed about it, you're doing it wrong. At the end of the day, this is entertainment. Yelling at each other and insulting each other shouldn't be entertaining. We are not the Romans anymore. We got rid of gladiator pits. It's 2018. If you want to be entertained, like, play Fortnite or something, because we do that instead of actually killing each other now. I don't know if that resonated with anyone. I don't know if that upset anyone, but I just kind of wanted to lay this out. This is a topic I feel very strongly about because I do get competitive about box office numbers, but that's fine. If Star Wars gets its record broken, then that just means Star Wars gets to try to break it back, right? Like, that's the fun of it, and it should be fun. Well, after this rant, if you would still like to, follow us at Port Haven Forums on Twitter, visit port-haven.com where we have more discussions going like this all of the time. Please leave a comment. If you would like to talk about this, if you would like to talk about competitiveness at the box office and have that kind of discussion, I'm more than happy to do that. And as always, keep it real. And just for freaking real, fly casual, alright?
Cooking can be fun!